What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and I'm sitting here next to
Gershwin
in this episode of For the Greater
WAAAGH. This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first.
And that is what Galileo has said. His question is, what do you think was the most important event to ever happen in 40K, such as the Istvans, the burning of Prospero, etc.? I think we could come to the same conclusion. The heresy?
Oh, as the most important thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just because GW focuses so much on the Imperium, that it is the most important event, and it seems like everything goes back to the Horus Heresy. The reason that the Primaris are significant is because they are the first they're the first group of Space Marines to be as good as the ones during the Horus Heresy. Everything goes back to the Horus Heresy. So yeah, I would like to say the War in Heaven because I think that was more epic and galaxy-wide. But GW doesn't pay attention to that. It's just kind of like...
It's just something really important that happened so long ago, but don't worry about it.
Yeah. Which it makes sense because not that many people play Necrons and not that many people are into that whole sci-fi science fiction aspect of it. They just want to get to the cool heresy stuff and the legions and all that kind of stuff.
But I mean, it makes sense because Space Marines are hands down the most prevalent of armies around, so it makes sense to focus on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the War in Heaven, that's something that I really wish they could explore a lot in depth. Try to figure out the old one stuff, Catan stuff. Yeah,
even the Unification War would be awesome. There's just the Golden Age of the Eldar. That would be kind of cool to learn about, but yeah. Next question comes from Guttersnipe Pie. Do sexually transmitted diseases fall under the domain of Nurgle or Slaanesh? It depends on what type of STD you have. If it's crabs, that'd just be Slaanesh because it's not really life-altering. But if you have HIV, well, it's like lice in your gonads, right?
Yeah.
Which is you can live with that. But if you have some AIDS, HIV, that kind of stuff, I think that would definitely be Nurgle because you are close to dying.
True, I guess.
Yeah. So it depends on the severity. Next question.
This one is by Glitch TF.
Yep.
Glitch TF. His question, and he's new to 40K. So when you guys first started choosing and playing 40K, how did you base your current race or faction on? Did you look at the meta? Did you just look at a package and say, ooh, spikes, that looks cool?
Spikes. Wait, what was the question?
Basically, how did we decide to pick our main armies?
Oh.
Did we pick, this is the best currently, or is it more this looks cool?
For me, the Killer Khans were the ones that were oh wow, orcs kind of look cool because of the Killer Khans. And then after that, I liked the fact that you could buy a box of boys, and it was, back in the day, it was 16 boys in a box. Whereas if you were to go with Space Marines, you would get 10. If you would go with, I think, Tau, you would get 12.
Yeah.
So orcs had the most, with the exception of the Imperial Guard, I think. The Imperial Guard had maybe 20, but I didn't want to play regular humans.
Yeah.
So that's why it seemed to me like it was the best bang for my buck. And even to this day, with the amount of kit bashing you could do with orcs, still my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with me, it's always been the battle suits. I saw the Tau Fire Warrior, I'm like, okay, these look a little interesting. And then I saw the battle suits, and I'm like, okay, I'm playing Tau.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was $20 for 3 battle suits, I want to say. Which was stupid crazy.
Now it's what, $50?
60 for 3.
60, yeah, that's crazy. Next question. I have one from Killian Isaac. What would the Imperium do if they had their own planet killer?
Well, they kind of do with Exterminatus, and basically you could refer to Space Marines as planet killers because you can just send a few in, and they'll take over the planet in a matter of hours, maybe.
Yep. So they kind of already do already. Next question.
Faking It 66. Who are the most technologically advanced Space Marines? Is it the Iron Hands? I would say yes, except I feel like the Primaris have better technology because they're using newer tech based on Belisarius calls tinkerings.
Next question comes from Ghost Isle. What if Space Marine chapters were never made but stayed as legions?
Whew. You'd have like 100,000 Space Marines per legion.
Yeah, and then chapters would become companies. That's how it would end up being.
Yeah.
So like you would have the Imperial Fists, but in the Imperial Fists there would be the Crimson Fist company, and it would be broken down like the Black Templar company, all that kind of stuff.
It'd be like the same thing as now.
Yeah.
But they'd be more of a threat, I feel.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think they would control bigger swaths of space.
They'd be more unified.
Yeah. Amongst their own. But yeah. Gilliman and his... Well, that's what Gilliman is trying to do now. He's trying to gather his successor chapters and push for the Ultramar campaign and expand the Ultima Segmentum. But yeah. Next question.
This one is by Eric Hussein. How do hardcore Warhammer guys like yourselves feel about people like me that do not play or paint models and are pretty much just interested only in the lore?
That's perfect. That's awesome. I honestly... We have breaks for in playing and painting and modeling. And in those breaks, I still go back. I still read my codex whenever I have some extra time just to get inspired by the lore and get myself back into the game. So if you are a person who has no intentions of ever playing and no interest in the models and you just like the lore, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the whole Black Library books to just dive into the lore. And I feel like if you're really invested into the lore, if you ever do decide to play tabletop, it's like you've already got the background history of it. Just pick whatever sounds cool to you.
Yeah.
Francisco Viejo. So I'm thinking of making my own chapter of Space Marines based on King Arthur. How would I do that and which model should I use?
I don't know the legend of King Arthur all that well.
I feel like the best option would be Lionel Johnson. Because you've already got knights and like the Dark Angel chapter is already loosely kind of based on like Camelot and stuff. Yeah. So that might work.
Yeah. Start a Dark Angels army. Next question comes from DK Just One. Ooh. Are there a maximum number of Necrons? As in, can they create brand new Necrons without one dying and getting back its essence?
I think there's a finite amount, right?
Yeah.
The thing is they just rebuild.
Yeah. So, like, you could kill one Necron warrior, but that body, the Necrodermis, can just be used to build more. And they have no souls, so they can have an endless... What is it called? The Silver Tide?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question.
William Dallas. So Abaddon the Despoiler constantly turns down the opportunity to become a demon prince. Does this mean that the Chaos Gods will create a demon king? And would you think that a demon king has a better place in the Warhammer universe than a demon prince? No, I don't think they'll make a demon king, because if they do, it would probably rival their own power. And to have one being with that much power is not a good thing. But yeah, basically Abaddon's turning down the whole demon prince thing because he doesn't want to be 100% controlled by chaos. He still has his own goals, his own ambitions, and he's just using chaos to further those goals.
Next question comes from Tom1984 Verschuer. If Chuck Norris was a character in Warhammer 30K or 40K, who would he be? Chuck Norris.
Jackie Chan.
Next question.
Anon Archrist. Oh no. I lost it.
I went from something mildly homophobic. Why do you guys have this sense of humor of a 12-year-old Fortnite streamer? I've never even played Fortnite. Have you?
I played a little bit. I haven't played in months, but there was a time where like every day after work I'd play like 5 matches and then I'd do whatever else I had to do.
One day I'll get into Fortnite. If that's still a thing.
It's all about Apex now.
Oh, sorry. Apex.
Okay, so I found it. Anna and Archrist. You have a broken leg. Who would you rather have treated and why? Fabius Bile or Mad Doc Grotznick?
Grotznick, hands down. Grotznick basically created God School Magro Thraka, so...
But isn't that him using the warp, and warp doesn't work on people, so would his things not have any effect on you?
I was under the assumption that I would be an orc. So if it was me, a human being, then yeah, Fabius Bile.
Yeah.
But if it was an orc, God School. I mean... Grotznick. What about you?
Yeah, same thing, Bile.
And
If I was
you
an
were
orc, Grotznick. Because if you could create, like, basically miracles, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I feel like it'll hurt.
The Boxhead Bandit Goldberg. How much would the average guardsman know about the warp? Almost nothing. The average guardsman shouldn't even know like what chaos is. Yeah.
This one's by Mad Max. Can you do more lore videos on Necrons, the characters, the dynasties, the units?
Yes.
And his question is, who do you want to come back first and why? Angron or Fulgrim?
I would be excited for the sculpt of Fulgrim, but I feel like Angron's stats would be much more badass. Just because I like close combat. So
I will go 100% Fulgrim because badass sculpt, and with him coming out, that should push more Slaanesh themed stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, we haven't had anything really new for Slaanesh in a long time.
Right. Next question comes from Pineapple. Which custom character out do you think custom warp powers might be possible? Wait, hold on. Oh. With custom characters out, do you think custom warp powers might be possible? They would be unbalanced, I know, but could it be fun?
Yes, they did it in 7th edition. They had psychic disciplines, biomancy, fulmination, pyromancy, technomancy. They had everything. And it's like when they went to 8th edition, it got dumbed down so much. They're finally now starting to implement more types of psychic disciplines, as you saw in the Shadowspear box set. Both sides, the Chaos and the Imperium, have new disciplines. So I'm hoping they implement it more. Just bring back everything else revamped.
And those were the questions for today. Thank you for sending those questions our way. Don't forget that if you enjoy our videos, support us on Patreon. Link down in the description below. It's just $1 a month, and it helps us create more videos for you guys. If you can't, liking, commenting, and sharing helps out the channel. But yeah.
As always, I am the Sound Alchemist,
Gershwan.
and we are out.
Oh, I used to put my freedom